Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the page, be sure to give us a like and a sub so you don't miss any of the content we have coming out. And today we're going to be diving into Spider-Man Noir, issue number 3. Now if you guys haven't been keeping up on this line, I'll be sure to leave a link to the playlist both in the description at the top of this video. This comic's bringing us to 1939. During the reign of the Third Reich and the Nazi Empire. Now, originally we began in New York City, but now we're moving essentially all across the globe, following the trail of a dead woman's cicada stone. So Spider-Man and the dead woman's sister, Dr. Huma Bergman, they traveled to London where they were attacked by some brutes. And they'd run off with a cicada stone. And so after making their way to Berlin to meet with a contact, Dr. Heinrich Hellstorm, they find him dead. And this is where we're met with the villain, ELECTRO. And that's where this story will pick up. So without further ado, let's dive into this issue. So we pick up in the News Museum in Berlin, and ELECTRO comes crashing through the ceiling. And so Peter Parker throws his mask on and jumps right into action. And a side note is I really do enjoy this artwork. Out of all the comics I've been reading, like, this Spider-Man Noir artwork is just absolutely spectacular. The artist is Juan Ferreira, and I just have to give him enormous credit because this is just phenomenal artwork. So we have ELECTRO and Spider-Man going at it, and really ELECTRO's just handing it to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man gets shocked pretty hard, and it seems like he's about to lose, and then we see two individuals bust into the room and throw a bag. ELECTRO catches it, and it happens to be a timed explosive of TNT, and it explodes with ELECTRO escaping, and Spider-Man and these individuals left in the room. So these individuals tell Spider-Man, like, we can help you out. We can give you somewhere to lay low. And Dr. Huma, she's really concerned about these guys. She's like, I don't trust them. I don't know who they are. Like, there's been so much going on. My sister's dead. You know, the doctor was dead. And now we have some guy with electricity coming after us. Like, this is serious stuff. And Spider-Man lets her know, like, this is just part of the job. I'm a detective. I'm following the clues. No matter how dangerous it gets, no matter what happens, this is where the path is leading me, so I have to follow it. Now, meanwhile, we pick up with ELECTRO, and he's in the back of a military-type vehicle with a giant Nazi sign on the side of it. And he's talking to somebody who's in the shadows. And they're just renegotiating a deal because the stakes are higher now, like Spider-Man's involved in it. So while they do 50-50 of the work, the price is probably going to change because the danger is now changing as well. And so these individuals bring Spider-Man to a underground speakeasy. Speakeasies back in the day were just places that were under the radar from local law enforcement and things of that nature, especially during the times of prohibition of alcohol and things of that nature. And come to find out, the individuals that saved him, they're spies. And these spies have a network so extensive because of who this individual is. He goes by the name of Ironsides. And he pretty much owns every gas station and telegraph within a 100-mile radius. So they're able to communicate on a scale most individuals in this time era can't communicate with each other. And so they get word that ELECTRO is going to Istanbul. So Peter Parker decides this is their best lead, and so they need to follow ELECTRO to wherever he's going. And so they're taken back to the airstrip, and they talk about the cicada stone a little bit, and we get a little bit of understanding of why Hitler is so interested in the cicada stone is because it's theorized that it can channel the power of the Nile. It can raise the dead, essentially. And it's become almost an obsession for Hitler with this being he's worked on his 6th excavation site just to try to find the source of this power. And so as they're flying to Istanbul, they're caught in a severe snowstorm of sorts. But it usually doesn't entail lightning, and that's what they're starting to see here. And then their airplane is electrified, and they lose all control. And as they start to drop altitude and almost fall into a mountain, Spider-Man jumps out and uses his webs to unfreeze the rotors so that they would be able to turn and gain altitude again. And just in the nick of time, they breach over the mountaintop. Now, hours later on their approach to Istanbul, they make their landing and meet up with a woman that goes by the name of Checkpoint Red. And he lets them know, like, we're on the tail of ELECTRO, and she says that you're too late. Like, ELECTRO's already been through here. That's why half the city is shorted out right now, and we're eating over fires because ELECTRO is already come and gone. And so they sit down in a bazaar of sorts, and they discuss where ELECTRO could have gone. And she says the same thing that's been said before, where everybody in the Third Reich is headed right now in the last few months that's come through Istanbul. They're all heading to the sixth excavation site of Uruk, where the cicada stone is from. Babylon, essentially. And so she arranges for them to be able to ride camels, but not necessarily a safe passage because there are Nazi patrols and things of that nature. And we get a really beautiful view of them riding camels through the Istanbul desert at nighttime. And upon arriving at Babylon, Peter Parker gets a spidey sense that goes off, and they're surrounded by Nazis. And this is where him and Checkpoint Red jump into action. And as all the Nazis seemingly are dispatched, Dr. Huma turns on Peter Parker and holds a gun to his head. And come to find out, Dr. Huma, the sister of the deceased woman who had the cicada stone, is actually a Nazi. And that will be the end of this issue. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like I said, as we were going through this, I really do love the artwork. It's super unique and super detailed. The coloring, everything is just immaculate when it comes to the artistry of this comic. And the writing as well. All in all, this comic, I definitely have to say it's one of the better ones that I'm currently reading, just because it's so rich. And the artistry pops off the page so well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you haven't yet, be sure to like and subscribe to the page. And until the next video.